Well, it's the first time I've ever been accused of being a Muslim at the barber's. And we're live.
You are now listening to Radio Rufus.
Welcome back to another massive episode of Radio Rufus. That's right, it is your traditional radio show. News, sports, games, whatever's hot off the presses in the week, we talk about it. And by we, I mean me and my right hand, left hand, both hands sometimes, man, never neglects the balls. It is my esoteric producer, Aidan, alongside me, the iconoclastic Rufus Rice. Yeah, that's right. And today's episode is very special because not only are we like partially permeable membranes saturating in the saline solution of our beautiful 60s radio station. Before we crack on with this Egyptian special, it would mean the absolute bloody world to us if you could drop us a fat 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple, whatever, Apple Podcast, iTunes Music. Because Proddy did that for his show, and apparently it does wonders with the ratings. So please do that. Also subscribe to the YouTube channel.
We've basically figured out that we're like 26th in the UK without ever asking for ratings. So if a few of you could just leave it 5 stars, we would shoot up to probably like 6th.
This is an Egyptian special. I've just got back from Egypt. For the listener, I am currently in Egypt traditional dress.
You're looking very culturally enriched.
Thank you, mate. Yeah. So I bought this from an Egyptian bloke called Steve.
Very authentic.
At a shop called Tesco Sports. genuinely true. There's a picture of me. There's a picture of me out there at Tesco Sports. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, we've got to go straight in there.
Did they sell any like Manchester Red jerseys or anything like that?
A lot of Manchester Red and like Bukayo Saka Barcelona kits and stuff like that. And he had the full Tesco branding and everything.
Yeah.
And I asked him, have you ever been to Tesco? And he was like, no, but one day I'd really love to go. Like it's the Eiffel Tower or something. Like it's a landmark.
One of the 7 wonders for this fucker.
In fairness, he did speak better English than a lot of people in real Tesco.
Probably than me.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like I still look like I could quote the Quran better than you, even with that outfit on.
Yeah, well, I was trying to blend in, do some cultural camouflage.
Yeah.
But apparently I still stuck out like a sore thumb because I was having a look around the local mosque in Egypt, just out of interest. And there'll be a vlog out on my channel at some point, so you can check that out. And the locals were just laughing at me.
I genuinely feel like if I put that on right now, I would blend in better than most.
Seamlessly.
Yeah, it wouldn't even be a thing.
They'd look at you, you know how like really black people look at light-skinned people and being like, you're not as black as me, man.
Yeah.
Like, Egyptians would be like, whoa, this guy's Egyptian, bro. Straight out of the pyramids.
They'd be like praying to me.
Yeah. For the listener, I should describe what I'm wearing. If you're just listening to this, I am wearing the traditional dish dash.
There's no way that's what it's called.
That is what it's called.
There's no way that's what it's fucking called.
I didn't tell you what it was called beforehand because I knew you'd enjoy that.
The traditional dish dash?
It's called the dish dash. Well,
that sounds so racially motivated.
Yeah, I know. It's not, though.
Yeah.
This is a dish dash. So I'm wearing a sort of white full body dress with a sort of white and blue cape over it, and a sort of plaid checked black and white. It would be culturally insensitive to call it a tea towel, so I'm going to call it a keffiyeh.
A keffiyeh?
Yeah. And a sort of the ring that keeps it on your head.
That looks like a musical instrument to me from here. Like if you shake that, I'm convinced it'll sound like a tambourine.
Are you? What you think? Like
the silver bits are throwing me off.
Start shaking it. And like prime Liam Gallagher, shaking the timbre.
Start doing like a fucking classic shepherd shuffle.
Yeah, shepherd shuffle.
Had to do one of them like my P7 Christmas play.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I had one of them bad boys in my head as well, but it actually was a tea towel.
I think like I do look like a wise man.
I don't know if I'll go that far.
But I think I definitely want to be the guy who brings the myrrh.
Yeah.
Because nobody even knows what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
So I can just sort of bring anything and just pretend that
they can't be like, if it's silver or gold, they'll be like, oh, fuck gold.
Silver's not one of the three things.
What was the other one? Gold?
Frankincense and myrrh. There's no silver.
Frankincense. Even that? What the fuck's frankincense?
You know what incense is?
Yeah.
It's like Frank's version, I guess.
So that fucker in Seven Sisters is trying to sell me individual incense sticks. Is basically one of the wise men.
Weed, but no. So frankincense is like, I think it's like normal incense if it was very forthright and upcoming with you.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
If you know that whole story, if it was set in modern times, what gifts do you reckon they'd be bringing? Like
what
a Lost Mary, maybe.
PlayStation, and a Lost Mary, and a
Red Bull, maybe. Just see you through the pregnancy.
Oh, it's not. Is that? They're for Jesus, right? So
I thought they were for Mary. Yeah.
No. The presents are for Jesus. So he gets the gold chain and the joss stick.
Yeah, he's all blinged out.
And the myrrh, whatever that.
What the fuck did he do? He's only just got here.
Yeah, I know.
Mary's had to push him out in the middle of a
Big
stable.
Christmas for this guy. He must have been a good boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wore this. I had to say, my general impressions of Egypt, I had an okay time. I probably had equally as good a time in Egypt as I would have had not going to Egypt. so there we go.
Did you learn any of the language?
No.
Nothing? Not a word?
Now that you say it, that's quite bad.
Yeah.
I think, don't quote me on this, but I think they speak Arabic in Egypt.
They do.
So I already know a few of the classics.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, Mashallah, Bismillah.
I'm familiar with all the Malahs.
Yeah.
But that's where my Arabic.
But nobody. I know that they're all something to do with the grace of God, but I'm really not sure which ones.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. What was the second one you said?
Yeah, I've already.
Mashallah. I think that means like God willing.
I think that's inshallah.
Right. Well,
because I think mashallah is like that's lit.
We're clearly the wrong people to be asking.
Like I think like mashallah means like swear down. You know, like there's a motive on tonight. Mashallah.
Right. Okay.
Like I'm up for that or something.
Were you at any Egyptian motives?
No.
You're
surprisingly not huge boozers in Egypt.
They had you in a bit of a curfew as well, didn't they?
Well, it's just in the hotel I was in. So there's a history of genuine tragic history of quite bad attacks in Egypt.
Shit, yeah.
Right. So every hotel and every public area has metal detectors you have to walk through before you go in.
Yeah.
So like to get into the town square, you got to go through a metal detector, which is kind of weird. And there's a lot of police presence and everywhere. And it's not really the sort of place you would go out by yourself at nighttime, I would say.
Yeah, just for your own safety.
Just for your own safety, just because of the history in that area. But that being said, I mean, I felt completely fine. I did go to a local shisha bar.
How'd that go?
By myself, and I got some funny looks.
I'd say you stood out like a fucking sore thumb.
Little bit.
Were you wearing that outfit at the time?
Yes.
See,
it's funny. I ordered a shisha, right?
Yeah.
And I said, "Give me the traditional Egyptian tobacco." And they looked at me like, "No way, white boy can handle that." Yeah. You know what I mean? Like this guy literally looked at me, and he was like,
"Not for you.
Not for you."
Come on.
Man. Yeah. It's like when it felt like your first year of uni when you hit on a girl who's like a bit out of your league, and she just gave you that look like,
"Not today, pal.
It's not happening." Yeah. So we compromised on they have some flavoured stuff.
Yeah.
It was basically like having a zin or something.
They just give you a pack of candy sticks.
I had cool mint shisha. But they gave me a little baby shisha. Instead of the one that everyone else was using. I had a little crappy one that was mostly made out of tinfoil.
Patronising.
And then they just when I went to pay, they just made up a price.
On the spot?
Yeah. Oh, it's exactly 500 Egyptian pounds, is it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
One of those places. I have to say, this is probably not representative of all Egyptians, but Sharm el Sheikh, where I went, it only exists because they realised that they can sell chips to foreigners.
What's chips like?
Oh, dreadful.
Awful?
Yeah.
But
it's sunny, so you don't care, I think.
Yeah.
Thinking.
What the fuck's wrong with... I know you wouldn't be going to the same ones that I'm talking about back home, but like cafes in England are so fucking shit. Like, do you know what Toasty...
This has come out of nowhere.
No, because you were talking about the food selling chips over there.
Yeah.
You're familiar with the concept of a Toasty?
Yeah.
How would you make a Toasty?
What do you mean? They're all the same.
How would you make a Toasty?
Okay, I butter the outside of 2 pieces of bread. I put some cheese or whatever in the middle.
Yeah.
And then I fry, put it in a pan and cook it.
I spent £12 on a Toasty yesterday, and it was just the ingredients in between 2 cold pieces of toast. Like, it wasn't made properly at all. And then I asked for a pot of tea, and this is like the 5th time I've tried to do this in cafes in England, and they're like, "No, we don't do pots of tea." Just give me a pot of tea. The fucker handed me out a cup of tea already pre-milked. That's not for him to decide how milky I want my tea.
I like the phrase pre-milked.
Yeah, but like, why is he assuming my milkiness? You know what I mean? Like, that's don't jump the gun there,
That's a little
Buster.
bit like going round to someone else's house and like using their barbecue for them. Like you're a bit sort of emasculating me there as a man. Like I'm not able to decide my own level of milkiness.
Like, you're doing the barbecue and like a rival dad comes over and like, needs a bit more seasoning there, man.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
In front of your wife and kids.
Yeah, completely embarrassed.
So disrespectful.
Because even if it didn't, they think like, you should have put more seasoning on.
Yeah. Well, that was an interesting aside. Yeah, so they sell foreigners. They sell foreign. I was going to say foreigners.
They sell foreigners.
Two chips there. They sell chips to foreigners.
Yeah.
So the whole town is not. You know how Egypt is one of the oldest civilizations in the world.
I do know.
This resort town. You didn't know that. You didn't know that.
I've heard. Well, I could have put two and two together.
You heard of the
it wouldn't
pyramids,
have been.
yeah?
It wouldn't have been off the top of my head.
This town was built about 30 years ago.
Right.
Because there is literally nothing there. It's just a desert. It's really hot. It's really sunny.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely jam-packed with Russians and chavs.
Right. Okay.
Which surprised me because I didn't think Russians were allowed to go on holiday.
At the minute, yeah.
I thought if you did a bit of naughty business in Ukraine, you can't go on a holiday. But it was full of Russians. I arrived at the airport. All the flights were from Moscow, St. Petersburg, Ekaterinburg, Kaliningrad. Like, all these flights were just full of Russians.
Egypt and Russia would have like a bit of a history, wouldn't they?
What do you think happened?
In terms of they're just like always been allies for a long time.
I don't know.
I think so. I think I read that
maybe.
somewhere.
Well, I can tell you they love Sharm el Sheikh. They love it for a holiday. And this is classic. This is what it's like when you go to like less developed countries.
Yeah.
I was going to use the phrase third world nations there, but some people get offended by that for some reason.
At least you didn't use the phrase.
Yeah. So I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to say it's a third world nation. I'm going to say it's a less developed country. Right, so they give you a form to fill in.
Yeah.
But there's no fucking pens. Right? So what am I supposed to do with that? So I had to go around, and then I remembered Russians don't speak English. So I'm going around asking all these Russians for a pen. And I'm trying to mime it and whatever, and they're looking at me like I'm completely demented.
Thinking you're trying to wage war on them or something?
Yeah, or something. So that's I think that sums up what Egypt is like. I'm not a big fan of Egyptian hospitality.
I do feel like you would have got on a lot better with the Russians than you would have the Chavs.
Well, the thing is, you're assuming there that the Russians aren't also chavs.
Oh, yeah, true.
And chavvy Russians are a new breed because they were up in the hotel, like hard drinks at like 10 in the morning.
Head to toe and no fear clothes.
Yeah, and I've never seen so many fake tits in my life in that week. Russians love plastic surgery.
I wouldn't have thought that of the Russians.
No, they love plastic surgery. You could fill an entire Lizzo with the amount of Botox I saw over the course of that week.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible. And yeah, it's like massive fake tits. But like to the point where it just looks alien.
Yeah. It looks like they're about to bust.
But they're on a family holiday.
I don't think you take fake tits on a family holiday.
No, I know. Leave them at home.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you can
plug
even
them
fly
out.
with those things. I think they'd be an explosive hazard.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
definitely get charged more for your hand luggage.
Oh, I think they should be weighed and included with the weight of the luggage, definitely. Yeah. Because those things got to be 10 kilos a side, right? Yeah, but I have to say, the town I was in it reflects badly on the rest of Egypt. I think it's a little bit like going to, what would be a good place?
Seven Sisters.
Yeah, maybe Seven Sisters. Or like going to Blackpool on holiday as a foreigner and then being like, oh, this is what England is like.
Is Blackpool not a great holiday?
I forgot that you were a council house legend. No, it's a terrible holiday.
People back home used to go to Blackpool for like a weekend. Like some of my friends that had moved over from England. I remember thinking like they're basically going to Disneyland.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, well, there's levels to the game. But every Egyptian I met here was either a scammer or a snake oil salesman or wanted to get as much money out of me as possible. I'm absolutely certain I got ripped off for almost everything I bought for a whole week.
How much did that cost you from Tesco Sports?
Yeah, I think Steve wanted 80 quid for this. Can you believe that? 80 quid for a couple of like, this is basically a duvet cover. Yeah. I got him down to like, I was like, look, Steve, 30 quid or I'm just going to leave.
Yeah.
And he accepted 30 quid. It was a business expense as well.
A 50 quid decrease in what he was originally asking.
Yeah.
He wasn't even trying to hide the fact that he was scamming you.
No. Even 30 quid is way too much.
Yeah.
I could go to Primark and get this for £4.
I could make that with stuff I have in my house.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I had an okay time in Egypt, all in all. If there are any Egyptians out there, I'm sure there are lovely bits of your country. But where I went, I only went there because it was an extremely affordable week. And I can basically work from anywhere. So I literally just went there to do work and then sunbathe when I wasn't doing TikToks.
You told me on the phone that it costs less for you to work for a week out there than it would have in England.
So, but this only really applies to me.
Yeah, specifically only you.
Yeah, because I write it off as a business expense, making it that much cheaper.
Yeah.
So I'm not paying tax on the money I spent. And then I don't pay rent anyway.
Yeah.
So, because otherwise you're going on holiday, but you're also paying rent at home.
Yeah, because that was my first thought, and then you're like, oh, you think I pay rent? I was like, you are a fucking dickhead.
The veil of privilege there. And then...
That's what you should start calling this thing.
Oh, yeah. I've got my veil of privilege on today. Yeah, I like that, actually. Steve... He whacked it on my head, this thing, and then he said, "You look like Lawrence of Arabia, mate," without a hint of irony. And I was like, you know what?
I'll take that.
I actually kind of like Lawrence of Arabia. One of my goals is to... Do you know what he did, Lawrence of Arabia?
Yeah.
Do you? Have you seen that film?
No.
I was going to say. So
I know it was out in like the 50s, wasn't it?
Yeah, 60s film, but it's 60s. It's a classic, great film. And what he did was basically, at that time, the Arabian Peninsula was ruled by the Turks, Ottoman Empire, which are your people. Yeah. So, like, all the Arab peoples were subjugated, and it was tribal back then. So they were warring with each other, which doesn't help you when you're being overruled by,
no, that's true.
An overlord. But that being said, fresh trims everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone was looking incredible.
Skin faded up.
Everybody had a fantastic carpet, because the Turkish people sell great carpets. Why did you give
I was thinking, like, are they getting skin fades on their fucking bush, or what's going on?
Oh, you thought I was talking about pubes?
Yeah.
Oh, right. No, I was literally talking about carpets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone had a fantastic skin fade carpet.
Did you see any Egyptian carpets?
No. Flying carpet. No, I didn't. No. It was a very sort of halal week for me. I didn't drink anything.
Oh yeah, Hinge isn't allowed over there either.
No hinge in Egypt. I can't believe
that is
this.
Ridiculous.
I whacked open the Hinge because I'm a Hinge merchant.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't wait to get some of the local poontang around here.
Yeah.
No Hinge in Egypt. It doesn't even work. And the worst thing is, it gives you the notifications of people who like you back in England, but you can't open the app. So you can't check any of it. Did
the likes and stuff live up to the expectations when you got back home?
No, of course not. It's England. But yeah, I think about that sort of sums up what I got up to in Egypt. So I explored the mosque in the local area and the local church and stuff, and that will be up in a video. So there we go. Right. How was your week?
Just here.
Okay.
Sunny England, yeah.
Cool. Let's move on to our next segment then. This is not news, and this is our first story, and it's good news for P. Diddy. He needs a pick me up, I think.
Definitely. Yeah.
He's had a rough year. He's had a rough couple of years, P. Diddy. But he's back now because criminals facing short prison. Oh, never mind. It's criminals facing short prison term.
Ah, fuck.
And he's gone for life.
Yeah, we just got his hopes up somewhere.
Yeah. Sorry, Diddy. I know you're a big fan of the show. So criminals facing short prison terms could, instead of being in prison, they're going to be sentenced to a job at the spiritual home of the Turkey Twizzler and Chav Magnet comestibles chain, Iceland. So Richard Walker, Iceland's CEO, and Paul Cowley, Iceland's Director of Rehabilitation, have written a letter to Prisons Minister Lord Timpson to discuss these plans as part of a new proposal to stop prison overcrowding. So basically, low-risk offenders are diverted away from prison to Iceland, and they get paid.
What the fuck's going on?
Yeah. So in America, they already have this system.
Yeah.
So you know the billions of guns and bullets that the American military uses every year.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all made by American prisoners for like $2 an hour, and they pay them like much below minimum wage.
That's especially if that's how you got there,
Yeah.
and then you're just fucking recreating them. That's so strange.
What do you mean? That's how you got there?
Like if you got to prison by fucking icing someone with a gun,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're getting paid £2 an hour to make bullets.
Yeah. Right.
Strange.
Yeah. Real sort of deep irony.
Yeah.
To that. So you know who Lord Timpson is? You know Timpson shops?
Is that the people that cut the keys?
People who cut the keys.
Yeah. I've never once seen anyone work in one or enter one.
Everyone who works in those shops is an ex-convict.
Oh fuck!
They're already
They've ruled this out.
He was sort of the progenitor
Spearhead
of this. So if any time you need to get a watch fixed or a shoe repaired or do some dry cleaning, I think,
Yeah.
they do a really sort of.
It's a wide array of stuff.
It's one of those things where it's a shop where you definitely can't get a pizza, but everything else maybe.
You can get a key cut and you can get a tarot card reading.
Yeah.
Whilst you're waiting.
And they could probably fix your Xbox.
They just say yes to everything and figure it out.
Pretty much, but I didn't realise, but everybody who works in there used to be a criminal.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And now they sort of put batteries in stuff.
Imagine the relief in court whenever you're waiting to hear what you're getting and they're like, I sent
do you think
to...
it's like Harry Potter situation, like the sorting hat? Like they just sort of decide prison or Iceland?
Yeah, like getting sentenced to a month of like long weekends.
So, in my opinion, the Timpson shops, which I'm an enjoyer of Timpson.
Do you often have to frequent
Well, if you need it done, they're just very useful. They're one of the last bastions of like genuine British decency.
I think it's the only place where you can get shoe polish in the world.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably true. You can't get it in Tesco Express, can you?
Definitely not, nah. They charge you 80 quid for it.
Paul Cowley, Iceland's director of rehabilitation, basically, if it all goes well, then that's your sentence. You don't go to prison. You don't lose your home. Your kids don't go into care.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, and it all goes pear-shaped, then we'll just send you to prison anyway, is basically the gist of this.
Those shops always have like a cardboard cutout of a policeman out the front. So maybe that'll like deter people from reoffending mid-shift.
They do, don't they?
Yeah. Always like with a smile. It's
So
like B&M bargains and stuff.
when I used to live in Singapore, they had a cardboard cutout outside every cold storage, which was basically like a co-op.
Yeah.
And in Singapore, the policemen all have real guns as well. But the thing is, there's no crime.
Yeah, so it's kind of useless.
So I got on to the MRT, which is like the tube, and you're not allowed to eat on the tube in Singapore.
Yeah.
But because the army has nothing to do, what he did was a guy got on at a station in full army gear with like an M4, and he said, "Sorry, you can't eat that," and then got off at the next station.
Fucking hell.
So he just came on the train to tell me that, and then got off.
Someone's pointing an assault rifle at you just because you decided to bring your ham sandwich onto the train.
Well, he didn't sort of hold it to the temple and force me to.
But it was there as like a silent threat.
Yeah.
He occasionally glances down at it,
He looks at you,
flicking the safety on and off.
looks at you, down at the gun, back at you, like you want to challenge me, you
Are you
bastard.
sure you want to finish that meal deal?
My old maths teacher used to keep canes in a box above the whiteboard, and then when you were pissing him off, he used to look at you and then at the canes and then back at you. He wasn't allowed to use them.
Yeah, but it's just the threat.
because I don't think they've done that since the 1890s.
Yeah.
But
I think that was still going on. Like
no, yeah, my
50s and
parents got
60s.
caned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my grandparents definitely got caned.
So it's bad news for nonces though, as no one on the sex offenders register is going to be allowed to partake in this. So you can't work in Iceland if you're a nonce.
Yeah.
We can't legally put people who are on the sex. Well, I guess there's kids in Iceland probably
That is true.
because mums go to Iceland famously.
Yeah. Maybe this is why they shop in Iceland, just the thrill of making it a bit more exciting, the grocery shop.
What?
Like having to get
Nonsense.
served by ex-convicts.
Oh, so it's a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, they kind of like that.
I'm going to be honest. I've never been to Iceland, and
Of course you haven't.
and convicts or not, I'm not going to go. So it doesn't make a huge
Yeah.
difference to my life.
It is a pity about the nonces because the tills would have been a great place for them.
What are you trying?
Working on the tills.
Why?
because they're used to being on a register.
Oh, nice! Yes. Aidan's joke of the episode, baby.
Had to line that up for myself there.
Yeah, that's lovely. Oh, register. Enjoying that. Cha-ching, baby. Take that one all the way to the bank.
I was about to say before you brought up the fact that you've never been there that you do strike me as a fella that's never stepped foot in Iceland.
What do they even sell?
So much
Dino
shit.
nuggets, right?
They sell frozen pizzas that cost about 25p each. They sell all sorts of sweets, chocolate. They've got like a bakery. It's basically it's mainly frozen foods.
Yeah, but oh, thanks, fucking. I would never have guessed that. But those pizzas are like a bit of plasterboard with some ketchup on it. Like, there's zero nutrition, flavour, or any enjoyment to be had in one of those.
Maybe that is the excitement for the mums, that they're just there to fantasize about those fuckers with a hand tattoos restocking the 25p pizza fridges.
Wow. We must have very different mums, because I don't think my mum would be into that.
Yeah, but the chav.
Oh, yes, you're right. Wearing the full trash. Oh, I saw this at the airport, because Egypt was full of chavs. And at the airport, I saw a mum in like one of those pink juicy tracksuits with like 4 kids or whatever. But she looks about my age. I don't know how you have a 15-year-old kid, right? And she got out a pack of cigs when she saw the smoking area in the airport. She got out a pack of cigs and she gave one to each of her children, and then they all went in there and ripped it.
Fucking hell. At least you're sharing, I suppose.
Yeah, but this kid's like 14. It was insane. Every bloke there was morbidly obese.
Yeah.
And so red. It's crazy how you people get so sunburned. You can make a lovely sofa or jacket out of everyone. They were so leathery. And every woman there was absolutely saturated in gin and tonic and going like, "You're right, darling,"
with the streaky fucking fake tan in between their fingers. And
so disgusting. I didn't see one person who had a healthy BMI in a week.
Nothing's changed since you go back to the studio.
Thing is, even quite a lot of the Egyptians were quite tubby, and they don't even drink booze. So,
can I assume that they have a lot of kebab shops over there?
I didn't see one.
Then I probably shouldn't assume that.
And now you say it, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Not a single kebab shop.
But they're fucking selling chips flat out.
Yeah, they had chips.
Yeah.
But no kebab. There were no kebabs in the hotel the whole week.
Yeah. Do you like kebabs?
Yeah, of course I like kebabs.
I don't. I think they're shit.
You don't like kebabs?
I only had the first
Hang
one
on,
a couple of months ago.
No. This is a scoop.
Yeah.
You don't like kebabs?
No, I wouldn't thank you for a kebab.
You look like you eat.
I look like I shaved them off with the fucking razor.
Yeah.
But I don't like consuming them.
You look like you have one of those spinny things in your house. And anytime you want a little snack, you just
shave a bit off.
Take the cutlass to the
stick
to
the fucking
cylinder.
Gillette Mach 3 down the side of it.
Yeah. Oh, I like those things because you can never really tell what meat is on it.
Yeah, it's kind of like remember whenever you were younger and you used to get like a lucky bag and you didn't know what the fuck was inside it, but you get like a
lucky bag.
Yeah, maybe that's a thing in Ireland, but it would be like
a
$5
kid's birthday party.
Yeah, not like a party bag. It would be something you get in shops.
Oh,
you
no,
might
I
get
don't
like
know
a
what
yo-yo
that
in it, a thing of bubbles, a few stickers, stuff like that.
Okay.
That's what I feel kebabs are. You haven't a fucking clue what you're actually getting. They say it's lamb, they say it's chicken, but I have no faith that it actually is.
Yeah, but no matter what meat it is, it somehow all tastes the same.
Yeah, that's a good point. I had a mixed one, that first one I had, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm in here, but I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah, the mixed kebab is interesting because it's hard to discern the point where it changes from one to the other.
Yeah.
Somehow all the meats are the same. Yeah. I can't believe you don't like kebab.
I did love the treatment I got from the boss man. They treated me as one of their own.
Well, you're like a long lost brother to him. Like a relative he hasn't seen for years.
So that would nearly make me give it another go just for... I felt like fucking 10.
I just think it's surprising. It's a little bit of a Cole Palmer situation for me in that... Because obviously the difference between how good Cole Palmer looks at football and how good he actually is massive. And the difference between how much you look like you love kebabs compared to how much you actually do is
it might be
enormous.
Even bigger contrast.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, okay. So no nonsense in Iceland, going back to what we were talking about. We also can't take anyone with an arson conviction.
Obvious reasons.
Because of insurance issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that would be funny. It's funny that nonces and arson are the worst too.
Yeah, they'd let a fucking murderer come in probably.
Well, it does say here, domestic violence is also not. So none of those three.
Yeah. Which I don't really get, because it's not as if your wife's going to be beside you.
Well, she'll be shopping.
Well, she could be,
yeah, so domestic violence, arson, and nonces. So if you've done any of those, sorry, you can't work at Iceland. But I hope you do get a better job.
Bit of advice, though, for anyone struggling to get a job: just commit a few low-level crimes, and within a couple of months you'll probably be in Iceland.
Stacking shelves.
Getting £4 an hour, probably, but still.
So about 80% of job offers are accepted. Much higher than the standard recruitment rate. Is
great conversion rate.
Yeah, but no shit.
Yeah.
You want me to say it's either I don't drop the soap or
this fucking CEO, though, he's letting on as if it's like from the good of his heart and thinking like, oh, I'm gonna rehabilitate these fuckers.
Yeah.
He's getting cheap labor.
It's pure like indentured servitude, really.
Yeah.
And the only thing I have about this is, why are they paying them anything? Like, surely if you're a prisoner. And if you're upset about that and it's like, oh, I'm violating human rights by not paying them anything, mate, if don't commit the crime, then you dick.
Yeah.
Just pay them nothing. That everyone will take Iceland over a prison, even if 100%. You're not getting paid.
Yeah.
Right?
Fuck, I don't know.
Actually, yeah.
If it was like a month of 7-day weeks in Iceland or a month in prison, I'd be thinking, I go into prison for a month, I come out with great discipline, I come out a new man, maybe with a sore ass.
No, here's the thing, you're not going to get bummed in prison.
Yeah. What if
you're the right side of the line, whereas I'm going straight to Iceland.
Yeah, you'd be my bitch in prison.
Oh, 100%.
You're my bitch here sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, I'm going straight to Iceland. If I get caught up, it's not even an option for me.
Yeah, you'd be sucking dick for cigarettes that you don't even want.
Yeah.
Just to pay off someone else.
Yeah. Can't even smoke them. Right. Moving on from criminal justice to morbid obesity now, as an American civil rights firm filed a lawsuit against Lyft after one of its drivers refused to give a ride to a Detroit rapper because she was so fat. So, Dajua Blanding, this happened on January 18th, a self-described BBW rapper.
I think that's the only way it can be described.
Self-described.
Yeah.
No, I could call you a BBW.
But the people that claim it, no one's ever saying that on behalf of them. They're always being like, oh, I'm a big, beautiful woman. But other people just call them a fat prick.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think if you're calling someone a BBW, it has to be ironic.
Yeah.
Like, you don't...
Well, I suppose some people are into that, which is fair enough. And then maybe they prefer to not call the potential suitors fat pricks.
Blow the dust off the harpoon for a night out. Yeah. Anyway, a self-described BBW rapper who goes by the name Dank DeMoss, weird, called a ride from her home to watch an American football game at her cousin's house. When the driver rolled up in his smart Mercedes-Benz, he locked the doors and tried to drive away. When questioned, the driver told the rapper she was, quote, too big to enter his vehicle. And then a video of the interaction has gone viral online about this.
And I see him like making faces or whatever. I'm like, oh man,
she already knew.
I can fit in this car.
No, believe me, you can.
Believe me, you can't. You know what's hilarious? Her first few words, you can barely make it out because of how heavy the breathing is.
What does she say? I can fit in this car?
Yeah.
He told her there's not enough room in his car.
The kicker part was when he started to talk about his tires. You know, I feel like that was a slap in the face. That was like my tires, you know, like.
The driver said his tires could not handle her weight.
I don't know of that ever happening where someone is so heavy they burst the tires of the car.
Does it say how much weight this she actually wears?
So she confirmed her weight was 554 pounds, which in our money is 250 kilograms.
Yeah.
Or 3.2 Rufus Rices. 3.2.
Yeah. That's even like,
one woman, and she's got to be shorter than me.
That's like 2.1 me.
Are you 120? You're not 120 kilograms, mate.
I'm like 110 anyway. Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
I'm 78.
Yeah.
You're 110 kilograms.
Yeah, I don't look as heavy as I actually am.
You carry it very well, because that is unhealthy.
But she is like so much bigger than I have. Like,
I think her chin is bigger than me.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I know people can say and rant on about body positivity and stuff like that, but she is not comfortably fitting in your average 5-seater car. Maybe a Range Rover or a fucking tank or something, but she is not fitting.
Yeah, or one of those blimps.
Yeah, not a 3-door Corsa.
A tank. Imagine her trying to get through the little hole at the front of the flap.
I mean, like the
front of the tank.
Simpsons.
How are you supposed to get through that?
Homer's just sitting out of the top of it. I think it's completely
What
fair,
do you
by the
think
way.
is the smallest car she can actually get in? Like one of those, football mum SUVs? Like a sort of Audi Q3 maybe?
I'm thinking
With the seats down?
I'm thinking like, those airport buses.
Oh, right.
Just because the doors
One of
are
those
big.
cargo planes.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
even just height-wise, sometimes it's uncomfortable for me to get into a car.
Yeah.
That fucker is not comfortably sitting in that.
I reckon she's about 5'8" as well, which makes it worse.
Yeah, like it's not even her weight completely. Like, obviously that weight.
It's more the volume.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the sheer girth.
She would spill over onto each of those 3 back seats easy.
Imagine booking a flight and she's in the next seat over.
You'd be fucking
fuming.
raging, yeah.
Yeah. So her lawsuit that she filed seeks compensation for stress, mental anguish, and attorney fees, among other damages. And she says this is a violation of the Civil Rights Act.
Martin Luther King
Martin Luther King
will be turning in his grave.
he's like the Donner machine in your house. He's absolutely turning, mate. Yeah.
That's just making a mockery of actual civil rights movements.
Yeah, I know. This is not racism.
It's
This is
nothing to do with her race. It's
Yeah.
Like, her being black doesn't
Have
put any
anything-
more weight on the tires. I've seen so many people in the comments arguing, saying that there's no car that couldn't support her weight. I had a friend in uni and he drove like a Golf Mark II, and me and my other fucking pleasantly plump friend Owen, whenever we were sitting in the back
love
of it,
that. Love pleasantly plump.
yeah, we'd have to get out going into the uni's halls because there's a really big speed bump. And if we were sat in the
Really?
back of the car, that thing was fucking licking tarmac.
It was scraping along the road.
Yeah. So people saying that this bitch, who easily weighs more than both of us combined, and she also has a surface area of about fucking 6 of us.
She does look like Mars, doesn't she?
People trying to claim that she's not going to have any sort of impact on the suspension of this car, or lying to her and lying to themselves.
Yeah.
And I think it's apparently Lyft drivers or independent contractors. They have the right to refuse someone if they think it's going to harm their car.
Oh, so it's not even a legal case anyway.
I don't think so,
Yeah.
because she's not going to pay for the repair.
Well, listen to what the lawyer said. Under the law, refusing someone transportation due to their weight is no different than refusing someone transportation based on their race or religion.
It's completely
Discrimination
fucking
of any
different.
kind should never be tolerated in our society.
Yeah. Your colour doesn't have the fucking tires fighting for their lives, but you being 40 stone does.
Refusing someone transportation based on their weight is not only illegal, it's dangerous, said her lawyer. Imagine the consequences if Mrs. Blanding was unable to seek shelter after the driver left her stranded.
I don't think the walk home would have done her any harm.
No. This could have ended even with, yeah, surely he's doing her a favour by forcing her to jog it.
The bit as well, she asked, how do you know I can't fit in your car?
He said, I've been there before.
But also, just having a basic grasp of geometry would show you that she's not getting anywhere near it. Like,
Yeah, mate, did you not do GCSE science? Like, come on, this is basic stuff. Basic little Suvat. That's a niche joke. Suvat's a really niche joke, but my physics enjoyers out there
they're going to enjoy it.
will love a bit of Suvat. Right.
He maybe could have turned the other cheek and let her in and accepted the fucking $20 fare or whatever it was, but that $20,
Yeah, but what about the $2,000 MOT and car repair?
that's not paying for that.
Right, let's move on then to our third story. Aidan, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever got your tongue stuck to a frozen pole?
I got my armpit stuck
It's a yes.
to a Black & Decker screwdriver. if that answers your question.
I was expecting yes or no, but
Yeah.
you got your armpit stuck to a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. I got my tongue stuck to a chairlift skiing once.
Right.
Because you know what chairlifts are made out of?
Yeah.
Pole, basically.
You give it a lick.
Yeah, and there's a bar. You know about the bar.
I've seen them in films, yeah.
Yeah, right. Those mystical faraway lands. Have you ever seen snow?
Yeah, I live in fucking Ireland.
Oh yeah,
Snows
that's
all-
true. I forgot
snows
it's-
in March.
I forgot it snows in Ireland there for
Yeah.
a second. But yeah, so the bar comes down, the safety bar comes down. That's a metal pole, basically.
Have you ever seen snow?
Sorry. Well, you know, I forgot that Ireland's also a freezing country.
Yeah.
I was about to be like, oh, poor Aidan's never had a snowball fight. Yeah, so the bar comes down. I stick my tongue to it. The problem is the bar's got to go back up before everybody gets off.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like my tongue is stuck to this bar. Stuck like this, right? I'm gonna do this whole anecdote like my tongue like is still stuck. Stuck like this. And then I'm looking up. And I'm looking at the eyes, and it's getting closer and closer to the end. I'm like desperately trying to pull my tongue off this bar, and then I get it loose just as we're about to put it up
Just
and
in
get off,
time.
and it's fine. But like
Yeah.
that was close.
The situation with the drill was I was helping my granddad put up a fence whenever I was like 8 or 9, and he left me unsupervised for about 5 minutes, and I was thinking, right, what would be good crack here would be if I tried to tickle myself with this screwdriver. So I wasn't stupid. I took the bit off. I'm not a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, right. Okay, you didn't just drill yourself.
Nah,
No.
put it into my armpit and turned it on, and it just completely caught the skin of my armpit in the bit where the drill bit goes. And I was just like, fuck. And then my grand looked over, and I was thinking, even worse than this pain is the mental suffering he'll put me through if he finds out that I've done this. Like, he would just... probably the stupidest act you could do there.
Yeah.
So I quickly put it into reverse and like just tuck it out,
Did that work?
unscrewed it, yeah. And then just
Oh,
walked
you
about.
just sound just back it up. Yeah.
But then my mum used to always know I was injured or something, because there was one time whenever I was like 6 and I fell into like a bed of nettles. So she put me into a bath because apparently that soothes it. So after that, anytime I was injured, I just assumed a bath was the way to cure it. So I was like, oh, I think I need a bath.
So then
And then she was like, what's happened? And I just lifted up my top and there's a fucking hole in my armpit.
Wow, what a story. I wasn't expecting that anecdote. That's great. Well, the minor pain of detaching your tongue from a cold lamppost has now been massively outdone thanks to a chap in Alberta in Canada, which is where my gran lives. When she writes the show, she writes from Alberta.
Did she have anything to do with the story?
I don't think... Well, the title of this story for the spoilers, but it's Man's Penis Sticks to Pavement.
Right.
I don't think she had anything to do with it, but we can't rule it out. Maybe that's how she became a grandma in the first place. A bar fight broke out outside an establishment in Fort McMurray on January 12th. During the dispute, the bloke's trousers and pants fell down whilst fighting, which is like... That's like some Tom and Jerry shit.
It's also like, just get a fucking belt.
Yeah.
That would have solved so much here.
I saw a TikTok the other day that was like, I guess this girl had just got a boyfriend. She was like, now I understand why men need belts, because they don't really have waists.
That's a bit... She's only getting that now.
Apparently. Like, when she like deployed this like it was groundbreaking information. But yeah.
Everyone has some sort of friend that just doesn't believe in belts and will happily walk around with their fucking ass crack hanging out 24/7.
I do not associate with those sorts of people.
I had a few of those at uni.
Yeah.
One of my friends that I lived with for a few years, he must have had something against them.
Right.
But he would sit leaning over our breakfast bar, and it wouldn't even be crack. You're near seeing the fucking gooch. There was that much
right, yeah,
ass
yeah.
on show.
Yeah. Everyone I knew was wearing very tightly packed chinos. So, right. So his trousers and pants fell down. He toppled to the ground,
Yeah.
and his penis attached to the ice. First responders deployed to the scene attempted to detach the drunkard from the floor, but his Corey was essentially glued to sheet ice. Ow.
Even the boxers or the pants coming down or whatever it was he was
Yeah,
wearing,
like-
how loose are they?
Yeah. Like occasionally, I'll take my trousers off at the end of the day, and my gentleman's friend is sort of peeping through the hole,
Peeping through the curtain.
yeah, to say hello,
Yeah.
but never enough for this, I don't think.
Nah.
Apparently, the ambulance staff pulled so hard there was almost, and I quote this directly, an impromptu circumcision in the street. Although medical reports suggest there ultimately is not too much blistering on his boy. So all good in the end there, but
I would say there's at least a banjo string gone.
Oh, at least
it has to have snapped in those conditions.
I didn't know this. The traditional technique for separating body parts from ice things is to basically pour almost boiling water on the area.
Yeah.
And then it sort of detaches itself. But apparently they suggested that to him, and then he's like, no.
You don't want that. That would fucking tear you apart.
Well, that's like
3rd-degree burns in your shaft.
That's like putting literally dunking your todger in a freshly brewed cuppa. Oh, can you imagine that?
Yeah, I felt like doing that the other day in that fucking cafe just out of protest.
Oh, right. Yeah, dirty protest. Yeah. Dip it in and then just sort of helicopter around.
Yeah, you can keep your fucking milk next time.
Right, let's move on to our sports segment now. It's Snatch of the Day, and the vibrant history of preventable deaths in silly sports continues as a spectator in Colorado was killed by a badly misthrown hammer at a school sports day. 57-year-old Wade Langston, described as a great father and a wonderful person. Which, by the way, you know when people die, has anyone ever been described as an enormous prick in a bastard? Yeah. They're always a wonderful person.
Yeah,
even if they
everyone's
were
a fucking legend when they're dead.
Like Joseph Fritzl.
Yeah.
It's going to say great father in his...
Yeah,
in his
I know
life.
some fucking dad bellends, and everyone at their like mass and their funeral talked about how good a person they were, and I was thinking, did you know this lad?
Right.
This lad was an absolute fucking specimen, and everyone's treating him as if he was an angel.
I like how casually you drop the sentence, I know some dead bellends.
I know a good few of them at this stage, yeah.
I didn't realise you grew up in a dangerous area like that. Everyone was getting chefed.
Just naturally, you meet some people, you know some people, maybe friends of friends, family members, and a lot of the time...
Well, when I lived in Indonesia, kids were getting knocked off of motorbikes. That was because the traffic laws, is so...
Yeah.
So that was the big concern. What was the great killer in
traffic related to drink driving?
Drink driving, yeah.
Yeah, it's always like the culchies and the farmers that... Culchies is like a term back home for like just real like shit kickers. I just used another term that you probably won't get, but like petrol heads.
Oh, like they've got a loud car that
like maybe grew up on a farm. They've been driving from they were 8.
Yeah.
But it was always them lads.
Is it like countryside hooligans?
Well, they're not hooligans. It's just because they grew up driving a tractor whenever they were like 8 or 9 years old, driving quads, learning to drive really early. They assumed that they were unbelievable at it. But it was always those same fuckers writing off their car after a night out with fucking 15 beers in them.
Okay.
But that's a big one, which is sad, but it is fucking trtrue.
See, in Indonesia, no one was even drunk. Everyone's just a shit driver.
Yeah. Well, at least they can use the drink as an excuse.
Yeah. Well, there we go. 57-year-old Wade Langston was struck and killed in the hammer throw after some kid chucked the hammer straight over the barriers and into the spectators.
You have to feel bad for the child, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There was no mention in this article of the kid at all.
Yeah. Like, it's not on...
It's not on him.
If they decided to keep the spectators so close within a child's throw, that's on them. And also, stick a fucking fence up if it's going to be that dangerous.
Well, so they did, and it went straight over the fence.
Surely...
You know the cage they have in the Olympics for the hammer throw?
Yeah.
Like, there's only that much, like about a meter wide that you are supposed to throw it through.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go over. I don't know how you throw it over the cage.
Surely this child wins by default. If he threw it that hard, it killed him.
Give him first place, man. That's true, actually. He threw it so high and so hard, he killed him.
Yeah. I think he'd be crying on his way to court with a fucking gold medal around his neck.
How does anyone get into hammer throw?
That's a good question. Do you know what? It's always the fat children at sports day. They're like, right, we don't think you'll be much use at the 100 meters, so we're going to have you throw a few things.
Right.
And they were always the best at it in my school.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to an Olympic diver the other day.
Yeah.
And I said, how do you get into diving? Because that's a weird sport.
Yeah, it is.
And he was like, well, I used to do swimming, but then I was pretty shit at swimming. So I did diving.
Diving seems harder to me.
Oh yeah, but he was like he was like a small guy who's a bit gay, so it's like up his alley. Like diving would be difficult for you because you're not like Tom Daly.
Because I'm not gay.
Slightly gay. You got to be camp to be good at diving,
Yeah.
and small and in shape.
I don't think you can have as much body hair as I do to dive for the Olympics team.
No, well, you'd have to burn it all off.
Yeah.
You'd
I
have
would
to
need
commit arson on that body.
one of those fucking Turkish barbers with tinny deodorant.
It'd be
and
like
match.
a California wildfire on your
It would
body.
spread quick.
Yeah.
I just need to hope someone fucking blows it out before it
You
gets
need one
to
of
the
those
beach.
planes full of water down to put you out. Anyway, so this guy dies. Some kid throws a hammer at him. And the most tragic point for me, I think, is apparently he was trying to shield his own family from the wake.
That's just sad.
X Factor backstory for this kid right here.
Yeah.
Got killed
Whenever
by
he
a
was
rope.
on to win the Olympic camera throw, we can reference that.
I don't think the kid was competing. He didn't kill his own dad.
No, but even him.
Oh, right. Yeah,
That's a sob story on his behalf.
Yeah. So a GoFundMe effort raised $7,500, and another fundraiser secured $10,500 for a total of, quick maths,
I can't remember the numbers you said.
$18,000. Apparently to help the man's son to pay college tuition, which for how much American university costs, that will get you through a morning
one
class.
term, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Call me cold-hearted. But
Yeah.
I don't think if your dad dies, you just get a free university. You know what I mean? Like, GoFundMe is meant to be for, like, things where you don't have the money. You know what I mean, though?
But
Like, if
that dad might have been the breadwinner.
yeah, but if anyone else's dad dies of, a heart attack, for example, you don't start up a GoFundMe.
Are you saying that just because it was tragic circumstances?
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah, like
I'm
if someone
being
just-
unfair.
if
I'm
someone-
being unfair.
If someone dies of natural causes, you never see like, oh, throw us a few quid there. We need
That's what I'm saying.
to
mate.
put dinner on the table.
And,
Yeah. Have you ever donated to GoFundMe?
no.
Have you ever donated to anything?
I did a GoFundMe once.
For what? What were you funding?
I have no idea. It went to some channel.
Was it like your old fucking SoundCloud songs or something?
No, I climbed and I hate when people do this. They like sponsor my run or my climb, right? And it's like, you wanted to do that anyway, you
Yeah.
prick.
The
I'm
one
not
I
giving you money to do your hobby.
One I used to hate was whenever like fucking Spice Boys would be like, oh, if I get this amount of money, I'll dye my hair red. And they just wanted to try it anyway.
Spice Boys.
Yeah.
Is that like the Spice Girls?
Are you unfamiliar with that term?
I only know the Spice Girls.
Oh, Spice Boy is just a term for like men that fancy themselves, like the lads who were knocking
Okay.
about in quiffs with black stud earrings and skinny jeans and fucking
What, in 2013?
12 degrees t-shirts.
Right, yeah.
Is it 12 degrees?
I've never heard
11 degrees.
11 degrees.
Yeah.
I've never heard of a Spice Boy, but I love that
Yeah.
phrase. That's awesome.
Mm.
Yeah.
Plenty of Spice Boys in my school.
So fatal accidents at track and field competitions are like this are rare,
Yeah.
but they're not unheard of.
Mhm.
So the last one before this one was in 2017 when someone got killed by a hammer throw, again in America.
Fuck, the hammer throw is deadly.
And then someone got killed by a shot put in 2005, which the shot put only goes about 3 meters, right, when you push it. So I don't know how.
Someone's just got a fucking cannon of an arm on them.
Yeah, but it's only physically possible to push it in a straight line because you have to do it with that technique.
Yeah, you can't put any swaz on a fucking...
No, you can't put any spin on it. There's nothing.
Yeah.
You just stand there and sort of just
Not
do it.
even like Jezza Lynch could do that.
Best on the ball
In the 2004 Arsenal squad.
in the 2004 Arsenal squad and the 2005 shot put competition somewhere. So yeah. No, I've never donated to a GoFundMe, to go back to what we were talking about. But I did one, and I raised, what, a couple £100 maybe? I don't know. But I think it should go... I think we should be trying to save the planet or something. You know what I mean?
You don't give a fuck about the planet.
No, I do. I do absolutely... I care about it. I just do absolutely nothing to back that up, like most people. I don't want it to disappear.
I don't think anything...
I have
Us-
actively contributed to polluting it quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't think any of our efforts to try and help solve those issues would lead to anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So fuck them.
Like someone will recycle for 10 years just for a football team to take a private jet from Newcastle to London.
Yeah, like people are washing out Marmite pots, right?
Yeah.
But like they literally club seals. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
nothing. Anyway, let's move on to Our audience interaction segment now, questionable, coming at you. And we asked you this week, what is your relationship deal breaker? Non-serious answers only. So these are the best ones. First up, I'm going to be honest, I can't think of anything funny.
Respect that.
It's actually quite a funny answer.
Why even send it? That's great.
The thing is, that was one of the biggest laughs I had reading all of that. I was like, yeah, fair play to you, mate. Okay. Relationship deal breaker. When a group of lads in a park kick a ball near us and she shouts mine, then steps up and heads it like Prime Drogba. I don't know. I'm sort of into that.
Yeah.
It's kind of impressive.
If she gets up like a fucking salmon and puts her name in that ball, I'm actually probably turned on.
What if she like arrives at the back post in full force and probably Ronaldo heads in?
Great fucking leap on her.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's a centre back partnership.
Oh, is that what you like in a woman? Vertical.
Yeah, horizontal doesn't really faze me.
No, right. Oh, this is interesting. Relationship deal breaker. Insisting on name brand butter or oil. Get a grip. Which goes back to a conversation we had before where I said I'd never have margarine. Yeah. And then Aidan said he'd never known the difference between margarine and butter because to him it was all butter.
Yeah.
Even can't believe it's not butter was butter in the Rafferty household. And then I said I've never had margarine, and he accused me of being a Lurpak eater.
Which you absolutely are.
I absolutely am.
Yeah. And there's Lurpak in our fridge in the office, and I was telling Rufus that I just refused to eat it.
Even for no reason.
For great reason.
Mate, it's not like a... Well, what principle is that based on?
I just don't want to get imposter syndrome.
Right.
I don't want to...
You don't want to start buying it.
I don't want to get a taste of the good life, then have to go back to the fucking £1.23
The island
co-op
has
butter.
great butter, that Kerry Gold.
Yeah, I'll eat that stuff if it's in the fridge.
Yeah.
But typically,
aren't Irish people proud of the butter?
Kerry Gold butter
why are you
is
just on the margarine for
an absolute fucking national treasure.
Yeah.
But Lurpak is just like posh British shite. It wouldn't hold a candle.
I think it's Norwegian.
I don't care.
Don't quote me on that.
It wouldn't hold a
Invented
candle
in 1903.
to even your average Irish butter. But it's also really expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not spending £6 on a block of butter.
Unfortunately for this chap, it's never going to work between us because I insist.
Yeah.
I deeply insist on the name brand butter. Okay, next one. Pretending to be Bugs Bunny whilst eating mini carrot appetizers at the party.
Oh, that's fucking despicable behaviour.
What does he do? He sort of twiddles the carrot with the green thing on the end.
Eats through it like a corn on the cob.
Oh, right, like... What's your relationship deal breaker? When she can't name the 2011 Barcelona starting 11.
Can you?
I think so. Wow. We'll see. All right. Victor Valdez.
Yes.
Dani Alves.
Yes.
Puyol.
Yes.
Carlos Puyol. Oh, who else was playing centre back? Oh, is Piqué or Mascherano?
Probably either or.
Either.
Yeah, but
Piqué,
probably
Piqué or
Piqué.
Mascherano. Oh, was Eric Abidal still playing left back?
He probably was in that squad, but
In
it
that
might have
squad.
just been around
Jordi
Alba's time.
Yeah. Obviously, we know the midfield trio.
Yeah.
Xavi and Iniesta and Busquets.
Yeah.
And then I think the front three is Messi, Pedro, and David Villa.
I think you got that spot on. That's
Full
exactly
knowledge!
That's exactly what I would have said.
Yeah.
Who would have been on your bench?
Alexis Sanchez.
Maybe just about, yeah. Cesc Fabregas.
Oh, Fabregas. Yeah.
He
But
would have joined
he was
that
a sub.
summer.
He was a sub, right?
He started,
he stopped.
He started a lot of games. They rotated about a lot. Pinto, the keeper, the backup keeper.
Pinto, yeah.
Mascherano, maybe like someone like fucking was Jeremy Machu there at that time. That
Nah,
was a
it's
bit
not.
later. That was like 2014-15.
Yeah. It's like the before Neymar, Rakitic, and
Yeah.
I don't know, shitters like Sergio Romero
Yeah.
or whatever his name is.
Roberto.
Yeah, that's him.
Do you know he went on to be like the captain for a while? That's how bad Barcelona
He's
got.
a bang average. He was always a 75 non-rare.
He
in
got
FIFA.
that goal against PSG though in that fucking...
Yes, that's true. In La Remontada. Yeah. I'm actually pretty happy with that. I didn't know if I was going to get that. Next one. This is from a girl.
Yeah.
Refusing to nosh off my dad's Corey for permission to marry me. What are you saying? Your girlfriend gives you the ultimatum. In order for us to spend the rest of our happy lives together, and it will be the greatest, It will be the greatest relationship in the history of human love, but you have to nosh off the Corey.
What if my girlfriend's father's not in the picture? Do I have to seek him out to suck him off?
Is that the situation?
Yeah. Does he even know about it? Is he in on it?
You've got to find him.
Or do I have
where's
to
Wally?
force a suck upon him?
And yeah, well, let's just say he knows, but you still got to go and find him.
Right. So I have to go to Turkey somewhere and locate this man.
Yeah. You can have these clothes if you want.
I think I'd need it just to wash up after.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. That is probably really offensive. Oh, that is funny though. My next relationship deal breaker. If she has a Gary Lineker cardboard cutout in the corner of her room.
That would do it, yeah.
Yep.
Do you know what dubbed my tits in? And I feel like you definitely had friends that found this sort of behaviour hilarious. People that had Hasbullah cutouts. Not funny. Never been funny.
Yeah.
Or Danny DeVito.
I think my friends were more like Nigel Farage and Boris Johnson.
Yeah, that's more up their street.
Yeah.
There's always like some girl household in uni that maybe you knew.
Oh yeah, and they had a flag up that was like...
Yeah. Danny DeVito cutouts was a big one in Belfast. Like, oh,
Really?
so quirky.
Yeah,
Fuck up and take it down.
Well, I think they had like a flag that just said "Live fast, eat arse" on it, and it's like as if you ever lived by those words.
Yeah.
And I'm coming in, and you guys are doing face masks and eating yogurt. Yeah. Nobody is living fast or eating
0% fat fucking Alpen.
Your idea of living fast is having 2 glasses of rosé and making a funny face.
They always have the "don't do coke in the bathroom" signs up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, where else am I meant to do it?
And also, I don't know about you at uni, but the hardest drugs any of our friends did was Calpol 6+.
That's pretty fucking hard shit.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I think this next one is indicative of like where the Radio Rufus brand of humour has become.
Yeah.
What's your relationship deal breaker? And the full answer, unaltered, is ratio of imprisoned Mongolians to ferret heads in my basement. Doesn't answer the question.
I thought that was definitely going to be something about Deji whenever you brought it.
Yeah, no. But I think that is the sort of style of humour that we have sort of, I don't want to say pioneered, but I will say pioneered. Like, what other podcasts are they talking about imprisoned Mongolians and ferret heads in the same sentence?
Not fucking many of them.
Pretty funny though. Oh, you'll like this one. What's your relationship deal breaker? If she has KSI's laugh. Couldn't stand it.
You would never want
imagine,
to...
I'll role play your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You say something funny to me.
Right, okay. See that there? It's not my favourite ceiling, but it's definitely up there.
No! That's mad though. Imagine every time.
I could be the stiffest I've ever been, but the second I hear that first bit of laughter, I'm going floppy in an instant.
And also, once a week at a random time, she packs Hazard. That's not really... I just added that bit. Okay. Next one. What is your relationship deal breaker? From a girl again this time.
Yeah.
Sorry to say it, but tiny gaps between teeth.
The London look, she's not a fan of that shit.
Well, I don't know, but don't all teeth have tiny gaps between them? Otherwise, you just have one big tooth. So what's she on?
No, they're all connected. She means like a big fucking a noticeable gap where your teeth sort of...
No.
Words.
Sorry to say it, but tiny gaps between teeth. Tiny gaps.
Everyone, yeah, I don't think she meant what you think.
But you have to have gaps. There are always gaps between every tooth. That's how it works. Otherwise, you wouldn't have multiple teeth.
They're not connected, but there's no gaps. Like if you put water in your mouth and held it behind your teeth, it's not escaping through the gaps. Do you know what I mean?
Do you floss?
Yeah. No, I don't.
Well, because you can get a floss string between every single pair of teeth you have. There are gaps.
Yeah, but at some point you have
Are
to...
you trying to say that there aren't gaps between teeth?
You have to force it up.
No,
I'm not saying that there aren't gaps between teeth.
Okay.
But I think what she means is a noticeable gap. I don't think she means...
She means the opposite.
I don't think she means the space that there currently is.
Right. She means noticeable big gaps.
Yeah.
Next one. When she says horseradish isn't an effective form of contraception.
Is it?
Yeah, because think about it. One pump with the horseradish on, you'd be absolutely screaming. There's no way you're having any more sex.
Yeah, suppose it is then.
Like, imagine it just tucked under the sort of bell of the bell end.
I don't have horseradish to hand. I might have to use like
Mustard,
any sort of sauce.
English mustard.
Vinegar.
What sauce? You know, that's what we should do.
Yeah.
We should do like hot ones, but you put it on your penis each time. And it goes from like no spice up to the bomb one. And I don't know, I guess your todger just gets increasingly purple
We
over.
could call it hard ones.
Hard-ons.
Hard-ons.
That's awesome. The show with hard questions and even harder cocks.
Yeah. And we get that bald fucker that hosts it to apply the sauce.
He has to do it to himself every time as well.
He just sat in the corner in a fucking cock chair full of barbecue sauce.
The thing is he's done it so many times that he's not as sensitive
Yeah.
anymore. So
he's like the
fine.
example.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, that doesn't look too bad. And then the nozzle touches the tip and fucking agony.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Maybe we should email him.
Yeah. What's your relationship deal breaker? If she doesn't laugh when I deliberately trip people on the street. Yeah, great one. If she's a Rufus Rice fan, I have to say, I agree.
I would say that one was sent 100 times.
Quite a few.
Yeah.
I have to say, like, not many female Rufus Rice fans out there.
Yeah.
But the ones who are
Big time.
committed.
Yeah.
And it's nice. I never thought I'd find myself in this situation, but once I had to ask this girl to get off of me so I could do my job.
Fuck.
Yeah. They go a bit mental, though.
It's a nice problem to have for a single man.
No, because, like, it's too much.
Yeah.
Because then they go, like...
Was she
I'm
like,
what?
was
This
she up
kind of-
your street or was she more like closer to the
They're
level?
never up your street.
Yeah.
That is another problem.
Yeah.
If they were fit, maybe I wouldn't be complaining.
Was she getting refused by a lift?
No.
Nah.
There was no civil rights case in this instance. But she was just absolutely hammered and not that fit. So,
Yeah.
anyway. What's your relationship deal breaker? No limbs. It's not really a deal breaker, though. So why the fuck did you send that in?
Yeah, so he's happy enough. He's open to it.
What's the point of that? And also, I chose to put it in. Why did I do that? Her mum shouted at me for drinking a Red Bull.
That is ridiculous.
I think I'd do that. I'm against energy drinks in general. I don't know why people would drink them instead of a coffee.
I like Lucozade Original, but
That's not an energy drink.
it is an energy drink.
No, come on.
It's called Lucozade Energy.
It's yeah, but it is medicine though.
It's only medicine if it's flat.
Right.
That's a real thing.
Originally, it was medicine. Like when it was first introduced, it was as medicine, and then it just became a soft drink.
Well, it's fucking delicious.
Yeah. What's your relationship deal breaker? If she doesn't have a dog that's either very old or severely disabled, so she has to have an old or disabled dog.
Right.
Why?
For what reason? Is he trying to euthanize this fucker?
Are you trying to run it over when she's not looking? Why would you rather have
Maybe
that than a
he's-
healthy dog?
Maybe he's at like the entry level stages of becoming a serial killer and he doesn't want to commit a serious
Oh,
crime
yeah,
with
yeah.
an animal that still has a long life ahead of them.
Like how Ted Bundy used to set fire to raccoons and stuff
Yeah.
before he became a real psycho. And our last one. What is your relationship deal breaker? If she tweets at a radio station to keep the tunes coming.
Oh, that is fucking
Have
great.
to say, coming from a guy who wrote into a radio-themed podcast to read out his suggestion, that is pretty rich, my friend.
Yeah, a bit contradictory.
Yeah. Oh! Ring, ring, motherfucker. Hello. Oh, 你好。啊，对对对，我非常喜欢啊，请你给我一个。Yeah. 对对对对对。啊，谢谢谢谢。Well, I've just got some news in down the wire from our Asia correspondent, Can't Be Wong in Peking. This is today's news. Today, of course, being the 16th of May, 1966. A second political movement has hit the towers as Chinese Communist Party leader and genuine Lego enthusiast Mao Zedong has announced the much anticipated sequel to The Great Leap Forward of 1958, The Great Leap Forward 2, Intellectuals versus Communists, Dawn of Justice. After the runaway success of the original Great Leap Forward, which collapsed agricultural production, thrust China into political turmoil, and resulted in the deaths of 45 million civilians, the great leader has doubled down on his promises with a brand new slate of temple burning, child mobilizing, opposition purging policies. Big announcement here from China. These are the new plans he's going to put into progress. Step 1, burn all the temples and all the scrolls and all the art and all the religious
Smart,
sites.
yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Well, my only problem is, where are you going to get all the fire?
Good point.
They can those kung fu masters. I went to see them once.
They can create fire, I think.
I think so, right? They
just like
you hold out your palm and it sort of appears.
yeah.
yeah.
Did you say he was a big Lego enthusiast?
Yeah, well, I just made it up. I don't think Lego was invented then.
He died the year before Star Wars came out, which is a pity because he would have had a fucking great time with the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, he never got to build it.
Yeah.
What a shame.
He
I always
really
think
would
about
love
that, people who just died before Wii Sports. And I was like, I think about like Chairman Mao would have loved Wii Sports.
He would have had a great time on it.
Especially the boxing.
Yeah. I reckon
That's what he used to do to his opponents.
we need to pitch that fucking Dawn of Justice sequel.
Yeah.
Maybe get Zack Snyder involved.
Great leap forward to intellectuals versus communists.
Yeah. We could create our own MCU. The Mao Cinematic Universe.
Oh, the Mao Cinematic Universe. Oh, wow. That is incredible.
Yeah.
What? And it's just like
different stages of his life.
400 films of atrocities he committed.
Yeah.
The Mao Cinematic. Who do you want to play Chairman Mao?
Jackie Chan.
Well, it's going to be a bit tough now. Is he dead?
No.
With Bruce Lee.
That's Bruce Lee.
Yeah, right.
All that seems racist. Right, we'll cut that.
We're not cutting that.
I think I have to cut me saying Jackie Chan because it's only Asian
Why?
person.
Chinese? Yeah, but he's a Chinese guy playing a Chinese guy.
Right, okay.
That's right. Don't cut that.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, there's nothing wrong with that, and it's hilarious. You know who I'd have?
Denzel Washington.
No, Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. He's just in everything.
I'd have Chris Pratt as Chairman Mao.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably have
Christopher Walken needs to be cast somewhere.
yeah, he can be Chiang Kai-shek.
Right.
And then I'll probably have I'll have
Gok Wan maybe somewhere in there.
oh yeah, other Asian people, let's think of them.
Yeah.
Well, I'd probably have sort of Reese Witherspoon as
She's not Asian.
Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
She's going to be in the cinematic universe somewhere,
Yeah.
right?
Can we have Alfonso Ribeiro as Malcolm X?
Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
Don't know how he fits into the picture
I
yet.
think it's just he's going to come in sooner rather than later.
Expansion film in the extended
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah, the DLCs.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's perfect. And then you can play Emperor Hirohito, and we'll all be good.
Yeah.
Oh, Mao Cinematic Universe is so funny, man. What's like
who's the Nick Fury that comes at the end of each film to recruit another fucking dictator?
I guess it's just one of those, like, it's probably Deng Xiaoping, but I imagine you don't know who that is.
I don't.
Yeah, so someone's got to play that guy. Yeah. Maybe just Samuel L. Jackson again. We'll just have him with a different hat on.
Put the eye patch in the other eye.
Yeah. No one will spot the difference.
They'll never know.
First thing, burn temples, scrolls, art, and religious sites. And then Mao has written a Little Red Book. Have you heard of this?
I haven't.
So it's his Mein Kampf,
Right, okay.
the Little Red Book. So it's got all the communist principles in it, and basically everybody must own a copy of the Little Red Book.
Do you know what was strange? Whenever we went to school, we were all given a little red book, and we all had to. It was a Bible, but it was a tiny red Bible, and we all had to keep it on us.
It's basically the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe he had something to do with it.
He'd have been long dead. It was long dead at that time. Individuals accused of crimes are going to be subject to public beating and humiliation in the town square. I'm a fan of that.
It'd be a bit of entertainment.
You definitely think twice about doing some of the crimes if they
Yeah.
literally put you in the stocks and beat you up.
But you get more spectators at that than you would some fucking prick playing the guitar on the side of the street.
That's true.
Yeah.
I need buskers
Yeah.
begging for change.
Have you ever busked?
Yes.
Of course you have. Where at?
At uni.
Did you make any money?
Yeah, I made like £5 or something.
Not bad.
Yeah, no, I used to bust back when I wanted to be a rock star after I went to music college. I mean, I still do.
Yeah.
But right now I'm sitting in a podcast studio wearing a dish dash, so I don't know how well that's going. But yeah, I did busk a few times. It was fine. It was whatever.
What was your go-to song? Was it Wonderwall?
No.
You
I
sure?
did. I have played it before, but
Yeah.
that wasn't my go-to. I was more of a Lana Del Rey guy.
Really?
Yeah, a bit of video games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
All children must join the Red Guards and become servants of Maoism.
That sounds unbelievable. Sign me up for that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why? What do you think you'd be getting up to in there?
Being a red guard sounds class. It sounds like
You get a special uniform and a special hat, and you get.
I imagine you get like a really cool lightsaber.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I did want to ask you if you could have your own cultural revolution.
Yeah.
So you get like one free building burn. Mm-hmm. What would you burn?
I spoke of this before.
Spurs Stadium?
No.
Oh.
I'm burning Buckingham Palace to a crisp and building a Weatherspoons in its place.
Okay. I feel like it'd be easier to just turn it into.
No.
Weatherspoons
I
and
don't
burn
want there to be
something
any remnants of what was.
else. Okay.
I want it to be a completely new job.
So if I could get one free building burn, I'd probably burn down Tesco Sports in Sharm el Sheikh in Egypt for ripping me off.
With Steve in it,
Nah, Steve's okay,
he's going to survive.
but he ripped me off.
He's
so,
going to be unemployed.
for a while. Yeah, he's going to have to go work at Egyptian Primark, which is
Yeah.
another shop.
Or Egyptian Iceland.
Egyptian.
That was a crime, the price he charged, to be fair.
Yeah. Egyptian Primark is genuine. That's the shop I saw there. There was also the George Clooney. That's the name of the shop.
Yeah.
George Clooney was the name of the shop.
Yeah.
And what else was there? There was so many fun.
There's a place in Calvos and it was called Tesco Asda Land.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
And Tesco is spelled Tesko.
So one free building burn, one free rival purge. That's good. So if you could knock out like someone that we know, like not from the company, but like from the social media sphere, maybe.
I was thinking more like, I was thinking I'm going to like eradicate every single M&S and Waitrose just to attack the upper class.
Okay.
Those are the rivals that are getting purged.
Right.
Mainly just because I want to see the Rice family shopping at Home Bargains.
B&M.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will be a global.
Have you ever been in a
No.
Have you ever been in a Poundland?
Yeah. But I've never bought anything. But someone wanted to go in there, so I had to go in.
Did you just go? Is that the type of humor you and your friends had? Like, oh, we're going to Poundland for a laugh?
No. No, I have friends who are not posh who won't go to Poundland unironically.
What about you? What rival are you getting rid of?
Well, if you're doing that, we better just complete the set and Aldi and Lidl have got to go. Burn them all to the ground. It's
Yeah.
like mutually assured destruction.
Where the fuck are we going to shop then?
Yeah, well,
We have to live off the land.
it's
Well, if it ever does come a stage where we have to live off the land, the posh are fucked.
yeah, because they don't know how to farm.
Yeah.
These hands haven't done a day of manual
Yeah,
labor in their
they're
life.
them's the softest hands I've ever seen in my life.
Honestly, if you asked me to try and grow something, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Have you ever like built a desk or anything?
Well, so me and my sister built some chairs. We had a race to see who could build the chairs the fastest, and
Did she
not only
win?
did she beat me, she then finished and turned around and helped me. I built the chairs incorrectly because I put the front legs on the back. So then she helped me finish my own chairs. So I think that tells you how good I am.
Yeah, it does.
One free propaganda move. This is good. Like you can. Let's say you can you can say something and then it's just everyone thinks it's a fact
Yeah.
now. So you get one free one of those.
Like we could turn this podcast into the modern equivalent of the Reich Radio, but with different propaganda.
Rufus Reich.
Yeah, Rufus Reich.
Well, let's just say like, what's one fact that you like to have out there that like now everybody just accepts that it's true?
I'm thinking of some like anti-Strava propaganda.
Oh yeah, stop the runners.
Yeah, just to let them know that they can go for a jog without letting everyone know.
Yeah. Or like, I think I'd do like AB steals tea bags from the hotel rooms.
Oh,
And
nah.
that just follows him everywhere he goes.
Yeah, now I see where you're going with this. I would have Kjell Freezy hangs out his tea bags on the line to reuse them.
Yeah. And they're always about tea bag. Yeah, like Italian batch. He wets the tea bag and then puts the tea bag in his mouth and then pours the water in and drinks a cup of tea like that. Or,
Yeah.
you know, something
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Like Hashtag Brady chews tea bags.
Yeah. Window kid snorts teabag. Don't know. So weird. Anyway, on that teabaggery related chat, there's going to be some teabagging after this. I can tell you that right now.
Plenty of it.
We'd like to end that episode here. Thank you so much for listening to the Radio Rufus Egyptian special.
Yeah.
Even though it was mostly a lot of Egypt to the front,
Yeah.
less Egypt to the back.
Yeah.
And we ended on a teabag, as we always do. So make sure you rate, subscribe.
5-star rating, please.
5-star. Yeah, don't be a bastard.
Yeah.
Don't be a bloody bastard. And give us a 1-star. And we'll see you again next week. Toodle pip and back to you. People got pissed off.
What the fuck is Toodle Pip?
Toodle pip, you know, goodbye.
Okay.
People got pissed off because I say back to you in the studio because we're in the studio.
They don't get it.
But but they're right though, aren't they?
They're alright, but that's the point, is it not?
So what I say, back to you in your house.